it's Joy again. I'm here today with a very different video, and this one started for me a little bit ago, and it's progressed, and so it started more so 3 years ago when we had a budget crunch that couldn't be helped. And then as I've gotten more information and things, I've very much changed to what we allow in our house and what we don't. Excuse me. What I'm talking about is natural products, and the reason I started this, I remember the first time I did this or did part of this was when my youngest daughter was little, and she was on the floors all the time, and I was using a Swiffer, and I read about some of the chemicals that are in their makeup, the stuff that they allow, and I was wondering how much of that is getting through her skin. Our skin is the biggest organ we have on our bodies, and it absorbs certain things and other molecules can't get through, and so really how much am I poisoning her without knowing it, or am I allowing in our house? And then again, when our budget crunch happened 3 years ago, I started doing some things on my own, not only to help with budget, but also because I realized some of the preservatives and things in foods I did not want us to have as much in our house. One of the things I started doing is making our own granola bars. And so I'll put down 2 recipes down in the doobly-doo for you, but I have an adult granola bar and I have a child's version granola bar. My kids love these, and they're really picky eaters, so they will eat these until they're gone. Now when I make these, I make about 12 bars in pan a piece, and then I cut them and put them into these little bags for them to grab and get. And yes, I'm working on getting something besides the plastic bags, but it's a process. So anywho, I spend maybe less than, when I figured it out, it's sometimes less than 15 cents a bar, and sometimes as great as 25 cents a bar. And that is still less than the $3 I spend for 5 granola bars at the store. Even Sam's Club can't beat the price that I make my own at. And I know exactly what goes into those and what ingredients my kids are having, and they're getting a lot better ingredients than when I buy them at the store. So that's one thing that I do. The second thing I do is I make my own floor cleaner, and I make my own laundry detergent. Excuse me, itch. Now the floor cleaner is really simple. If it's tile, I use alcohol, that's rubbing alcohol, a cup of rubbing alcohol, a cup of vinegar, and 2 drops about of dishwashing liquid in a gallon of water, and I do the tile floors. If it's my laminate floors, it's 2 drops of dishwashing liquid and a cup of alcohol. The alcohol just creates a stronger evaporation. I get less streaking if I use that in a gallon of water. And you can, if you do not like dishwashing liquids, you can use an all-natural dishwashing liquid if that's your preference. You can also use Dr. Bronner's, but you have to be very careful because I found that Dr. Bronner's can actually leave a film. And when I say Dr. Bronner's, I'm talking about this. This is the one that I get. This is a lavender scent, and I actually use this in one of my formulations for laundry soap. So this and baking soda and some essential oils is pretty much the makeup of my laundry soap. I do have another one that has Fels Napa and Arm & Hammer washing soda that I use for the smellier laundry that we can get. So if your children have spent a day in the mud, or if your husband was out doing the yard and the clothes are particularly smelly, then I would use the Fels Napa concoction, because I spend absolute cents per load as compared to the $1 or something I was spending per load. And you have to understand, when my husband and I got married, we were doing about 10 loads of laundry a week. Yeah, so you know, when you have 4 kids at home and 2 adults, and the kids are changing clothes when they get home, it was a lot of laundry. And so with that, I had to figure out how to afford to do the laundry instead of going through a whole thing of laundry detergent in a week. Yes, a week. So one of the other things that I changed is I never did like the feeling of my clothes when I use a softener agent or laundry sheets, dryer sheets. I know that dryer sheets age the dryer and don't really, well, that's the rumor anyway. I don't know that for a fact that they age the dryer. But I do know that I didn't like the chemical feel that was on my clothes. It just felt different. Now my clothes just feel clean. So instead of the softener, let me get that out better. Instead of the softener, I use just vinegar as my softener. It's in the rinse. And that's worked for me for a very long time. The other thing that I do is I use dryer balls in my dryer. And these are made from wool. I make some my own now, and when I first started, I bought a set. And what these do is they help the clothes dry faster, and because they're hitting the clothes, they soften them. So depending on the size of the load, depends on how many you need to put in there. Now, you can find tons of people that make dryer balls on Etsy, and I bought my first, I think, 5 or 6 dryer balls for $20, and that was good. Now I make my own now. This is made from, the core is actually an old wool jacket I found either at Goodwill or at one of the secondhand stores that was in pretty poor condition. I could tell it was real wool, not only from the label, but because the material had already felted together. And what I'll do is I'll cut that into strips and I'll wrap that in a very tight ball in the middle. And then I'll wrap that with some felting wool that I'll usually either get at a secondhand store or I sometimes buy it at several stores, not usually in the regular hobby stores because that's pretty expensive. So I make my own dryer balls now. This is one way you can do it. And the other way is like this, and this is a old wool sweater I found, and I just put the dryer ball core in here, and then I put it in the sleeve, and I cut both ends, and then I sewed it shut. And after you do that, you put them in a pair of nylons and knot them off and stick it in boiling water for a couple hours, and then let them dry. And you got yourself some nice wool dryer balls. Now those don't help with static cling. With static cling, I just put a rolled up ball of tinfoil in there, and I know that sounds strange. It doesn't catch your clothes on fire. It doesn't catch your dryer on fire. It just dispels the electricity that's made with the clothes rubbing together. And it works perfectly well, and now I don't deal with static at all, and my clothes are clean and no chemical leftovers. So I adore that other one. That's really all I have for you, and this is not nearly all the things that I do to help keep my family healthy and me healthier, and to reduce the chemicals in our home, but it's just some things that I started with and then I'm still changing and learning and growing. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. That really helps out, tells me what you guys like, what you don't. If you learned anything, I'd love to know what that is. If I've given you any great ideas, put a comment down below. Let me know what you're most interested in. If you'd like any more information than what I give you down below, please let me know too, and you can always message me and I'd be happy to let you know. I'd be happy to dedicate a video to any one of these things that you'd like to know more about. So let me know what you want to know more about, if this video is right up your alley or not, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'd love to spend more time chit-chatting with you guys and get to know you all a little bit better too. And I think that's it for now, okay? I'll see you later and be back later this week. All right, bye-bye.